Yes, here we are once again for the final time in season 13. It is the season finale, the High Noon Hemp Show, live every Wednesday, of course, at noon Eastern Time, as the name suggests. You can find us live video and on demand video, of course, on Facebook, the Temptations Beach Facebook page, also the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel, and, of course, at Temptations on Twitter. If you want the podcast, you can do that as well. Search Google Play, iHeartRadio, or Podbean for the High Noon Hemp Show. And you get to hear us without having to look at us for such a long period of time, which some people prefer, apparently. That's fine. I am Stoner Jesus. He is Beach, the man himself, high above the Temptations in Sharonville, Ohio, the hemp quarters, if you will. Beach, how are things in this final show of season 13 in the world of Temptations?
Well, I have to say that welcome everybody. There is a lot going on. It is true, locally, internationally, all kinds of good stuff in today's season finale. Thanks everybody for watching the High Noon Hemp Show. It is high noon. It is Wednesday. We are here all over those places that my partner of switches over there, Stoner Jesus, just mentioned. We're probably some other places we don't even know about, but good.
May?
Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I'm gonna jump right into things here. First and foremost, I believe it's Sunday, the 23rd, is Gatewood Galbraith's birthday. Gatewood, if you don't know, is one of, if not the greatest hemp warrior. And when I say warrior, I mean warrior. He wrote a book called The Last Free Man on the Planet. He was an attorney in Lexington, Kentucky, ran for governor of Kentucky, I believe 5 total times over his lifetime, with industrial hemp as one of his main issues. I truly believe that Kentucky was the state that basically made industrial hemp legal in the United States again. And Gatewood had as much to do with that as anything. Weedly Willie, thanks for watching from Argentina.
That's right.
International. We're all over the planet as we see that. And so we celebrate Gatewood's life. I've seen a lot of posts over the last week or so building up to, I think, his birthday on Gatewood and everything, because again, he was one of the loudest voices, one of the smartest voices, one of the toughest voices. To me, he was as much, and we shared a stage on many occasions here in Cincinnati. He would come and speak at the rallies that were organized, and again, as much on THC Delta 9 / marijuana as hemp. And they were two different issues to him, and he tackled both of those issues. They weren't. He wasn't any more pro marijuana than he was pro hemp. He fought for both of those as much as he could. And so, it was a privilege to me to have many conversations, just standing around talking to him, hanging out, as it was. But again, he was the truest warrior, I think, because he fought with the law. One of the truest warriors, I would say. He fought with his actions. He fought with his voice. He fought with everything when it came to cannabis. He took Kentucky to where it was. And then, I guarantee you, and I don't know if Mitch would ever admit to this, but I do think when they were fighting for industrial hemp, man, Gatewood was in the back of Mitch's head saying it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. Maybe cussing at him a little bit. But no, he again, to me, he is top of the list as far as admiration, as far as learning from on a different scope. I think I had all the hemp knowledge that I needed, but I think Gatewood kind of lit a fire under me too. He was in your face. I'm not really. I'm just going to educate you. People think I'm an in your face guy because I'm tall and I get loud, but I'm not. I'm not really an in your face guy. I start talking about hemp and I get excited, and I think that because again I'm 6'5" um, and so people gotta because in real life I'm kind of the guy that would just sit in the corner if people didn't ask him about hemp or some other things I might know about. So Gatewood was, he's happy to tell you anytime, anywhere, why, what, who, anything. And so again, we'll have a 1-day sale in the stores on his birthday. It is up on the first page of the hemptations.com. It's there year round as one of the days that we celebrate. As much as I want to celebrate MLK Junior Day, which is great. I believe in it totally. Gatewood is just as important. He may never have a federal holiday, but he's definitely important. And I mean, I can't even imagine the amount of people that Gateway changed. I mean, his voice when he was running for governor was reaching everyone. Right, wrong, or indifferent, whether you believed in him or not. When he talked, they listened. And so, again, truly believe that without Gatewood, I don't know if we'd be where we are with industrial hemp right now in the long run. And so we will celebrate his life on the 23rd is his birthday. Let's see. Oh, City Beat Best of Voting has opened up. I will get all the categories that are appropriate to us also on the first page. I'll just put a click there so you can go and vote. We are the reigning champs. Dun, 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 until we are not in the best of green sustainable store and best of smoke shops. We also would love to see even a top 3 finish, because again, somehow we've been getting left off the list for CBD stores, which I can't even fathom how that is. We have been selling CBD, I would almost guarantee 3 times longer than any other store in the general area, if not twice as long, because we've been selling CBD 2010. I'd almost love to go back and see I wish I could remember when the first time I ordered CBD, but I do believe in my head that I only had the O'Brienville store at the time, which means it had to have been prior to 2011.
Wow.
And so, why we're not being voted for best of CBD store. And of course, now we have our own line, which is simple ingredients, hemp oil, and CBD. No flavoring, no crap, nothing you don't need. CBD and hemp oil. And so, take a look at that, folks. When you're voting for your favorite CBD store in the greater Cincinnati area, just think about those facts for a minute. And then, of course, the High Noon Hemp Show. We got to be out there with the High Noon Hemp Show for best of. I don't know that there's a video cast, but a podcast at least. We are a podcast.
Anything internet related, write us in, whatever you need to do.
Yeah, whatever we need to do, we're gonna try to maybe get a top 3 finish in that. I doubt we can. It's going to be tough to compete for that one, but it would be fun to get the word out there about the High Noon Hemp Show by maybe a top 3 finish as
Right.
one of the best podcasts.
Say that all other podcasts suck, so there's that.
I'm not going to say that. I don't want to. I think all those other podcasts are great at what they do.
They're
but
horrible. They're unlistenable.
I think we are very local. As I sit high above the Sharonville location. But and so I think the worst thing that going against our podcast is it comes with pictures.
Right. All this.
So if we win best podcast, I think that would be great because that means we would be doing it without all the pictures that we show as well. So anyway, we will be bringing that up more. Like I said, I'll get that more information on that on the and there's actually a national smoke shop competition that I'm going to put a link for
Oh, wow.
on the website too, just to see if we can get a nomination there. We are I definitely feel like we are underappreciated nationally on the hemp scene and on everything else. So, but that's okay because you know what? We're content here. We're happy here. I love the higher Cincinnati area, the high state area. I call it the high state area. And so, speaking of the high state area, Ohio medical marijuana program is trying to get all the Delta 8, Delta 10, Delta 4, all these other variants that are popping up which is, again, this is interesting. These are all popping up because they're industrial hemp byproducts. They want to officially add them to their medical marijuana list because if they don't, they can't sell those in the pharmacies or the dispensaries. Okay. Now, I want to be straight here because they're probably going to cause a lot of confusion. Next thing you're going to know, people be like, oh, God, Delta 8's illegal in the state of Ohio, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be the same thing as it was with CBD in the state of Ohio. It's going to be the two tails of all the variants, all the cannabinoids, all the isolates, all these things. Okay. Once again, they're going to add to their policy all of these things so that the growers and the extractors can make products to sell in the dispensaries. Okay. It will have nothing to do with the Ohio Controlled Substance List, and it will not affect the over-the-counter sale. Well, it won't affect our over-the-counter sale. If they pull the same tactics that they pulled with CBD, it may affect somebody else that's selling Delta 8 if they have a license through the state of Ohio, and it might be even a cigarette license. Because that's what they tried to do. Now, again, that all got, I don't even know how that officially, I know how that got, that got officially, the government actually didn't have to do, and Ohio had to officially say CBD was legal. That's right. For over the counter. And then that's what changed when they were trying to say, and this was the state of Ohio, medical marijuana, all of it, state of Ohio, that CBD was illegal, all CBD, because they had CBD mentioned in their policy. Okay. And the medical marijuana policy in the state of Ohio has nothing to do with the over-the-counter sale of industrial hemp products. So that's going to be, we'll see how they try to play it. We'll see if they try to play it like they did CBD, just to try to scare. Basically, it was a scare tactic that worked quite well, except for us. Again, we were, one of literally a handful, maybe, of stores in Ohio that sold and carried CBD. I'm gonna estimate that was probably 2 years, and I think that was right when we were starting the show.
Mm-hmm.
That was going on, I believe. That was the controversy that was going on and getting worked out. So it's been over a couple of years ago. But again, 4 years ago, one of a handful of stores in the whole state of Ohio that was selling CBD products. So, we got that going for us. I don't know if we really got that going for us, but I think the fact that we survived COVID, we got that going for us. So anyway, that's going to be interesting to see how they play that in the state of Ohio. But never fear, state of Ohio, our Delta 8, Delta 10, Delta, all these other deltas, and we're now the HHC, and I mean it's going to get blown up. This year, it's going to get blown up as to all the variants and isomers and isolates and cannabinoids and all these things that they're discovering that they can extract from industrial hemp or make from industrial hemp. And so, good times, good times. All right, let's jump right into the product spotlight. Now, is used to be 4 from the store, 1 from my door. Now it's 4 from the store, 1 from my door, and more. From the store, we just got a fresh batch of the Yanali soaps. 3 different kinds there: the pure Castile, the active charcoal, and lavender. And so these are basically handmade great soaps. I discovered years ago. It's good stuff. Here is a picture of the Earthly Body products. I'm going to probably be doing an order pretty soon on these, but we got a decent little selection of Earthly Body up at the Sharonville location. Get some more lotions in because we needed some more of the different sizes of lotion, which is our biggest seller of Earthly Body, and also our shampoo and conditioner. But there's a variation of different Earthly Body products there. Twisted hemp wraps. I don't know if I've ever actually shown the old twisted hemp wraps for your legal Delta 8 or CBD flower. Try a twisted hemp wrap and see what you think. There's a lot of hemp wraps out there. A lot of hemp wraps were some of the more popular ones. There was a shortage of because of COVID. Or at least because of the ship containers probably out sailing around, which I don't know if that's really COVID related or not. But anyway, probably. And then I've seen, over the last year, I've seen some other name brands of hemp wraps, which became, again, it's how the wrap game works. They basically replaced the tobacco wrap or any wrap that may have had tobacco, which was mostly paper anyway. Hemp wraps did. And now there's probably at least 10 different hemp wraps out there. And again, tobacco free. Love it. It's just hemp paper. And so, still very, very popular in the stores, which is, again, why we were probably voted best of smoke shops, because we have a great selection of hemp wraps and hemp papers.
That's right.
For that matter. And then the last is the Homestead Dog Treats. We use these for the most part. And it's funny because we have a big dog, but I use the small dog treats. I think she thinks she's getting more that way. But and then, of course, that goes back and forth depending on how much stock we have in each one. But I know Josie loves her dog treats. And these are what I would call local, just like our Kentucky grown hemp oil and Kentucky grown CBD. This too is Kentucky grown, Kentucky made, Kentucky proud product. So, all right. Now the one from my door, this was actually a sample sent to me some time back, which I have found to be very beneficial. And it is a hemp composite tamper. So that bottom piece there is, and I'm pretty sure these were 3D printed by looking at them. I can tell. I can tell the difference, and anybody can tell the difference. If you have whether it's injection molded or 3D printed, you can usually tell the difference. But this is a really great idea. I think it has a little bit of, it's kind of one of those test things where I think the sizing might have to be adjusted just a tad for it to work and be, viable. But I love the idea. As you may or may not know, the bottom of the lighter is a tamper. Why Bic hasn't actually figured out some fancy special, of course they're not going to change it up, but you can always tell a smoker's lighter
right
by the bottom. That are clearly identifiable. Clearly identifiable. And so, this is a great idea. And we may get these in the store because it's just kind of fun and something I think our customers would like as well. So we'll see. Now, the more. This week's more is socks. That's right, socks. It's winter time. People need socks. Now, the deal of the week that I found online is at REI, rei.com. And again, I'll get these on the website if you forget. But their hemp socks are on sale. right now. Well, I kind of really like these designs too. I have a lot of pairs of hemp socks, but I can use a lot more. There's no doubt in my mind. And so I really like these. So I might be purchasing some of the REI socks on sale. REI.com for those. The next one, and I have purchased personally from this company and have tried to set up a wholesale account a couple times. It just the connection wasn't there, which is, it is what it is. Give me your money, but don't ignore me, please. But it's the Hemp Authority. So it's hempauthority.com. And I've always loved their line of socks. Again, I have pairs of their socks that I have purchased in the past. They're not expensive. And they have, a decent little selection there. And of course, they have obviously check out their full line of hemp products at Hemp Authority. They have some other stuff. I'm pretty sure I need to go back. I'm going to go back on their website and contact them again, try to get their products on the shelves here and just see what their full line entails these days. They've been around for a while. And so good for him, good for them, surviving, selling pretty much hemp socks and stuff. Now here's the Young Maven. And I always, if Young Maven sells it, I want to throw it on the list of more. And the one thing I love about the Young Maven, and they are a little pricey, but their color selection, pick your favorite color, they've got it. And so, Hempy stuff is a little bit more expensive. Hempy stuff is unbelievably great quality. Most of anything that I have made of hemp from Hempies has always been a little thicker, a little bit more durable, a little better, longer lasting, one way or another. And I probably need to do a little Hempies order, get their backpacks and some other belts. I know we need their belts right now. So, but here's their socks. And so if you need a sock in a color you really want, you can't find a pair of hemp socks in that color, Young Maven may have your solution right there. The next one is a new one that I just discovered looking for hemp socks. And this is a company called Eco Now. Their website is Eco Now, ECONOWCA, as in California.com. They too have a neat little selection of colors and socks. And these are organic. And again, organic at a pretty decent price, honestly. And so check out econowca.com for those. And here is, and we will be getting these back in, but we have carried and carry their archived hemp socks down on the shelves right now. The selection's kind of low because again they're out of, aren't doing a lot of their colors. Luckily, I grabbed a lot of their colors before they disappeared. But I do love the leaf pattern in them. They're also doing a little bumblebee and like a little almost like pine tree design on just the natural. And I'm excited to get these in, but they actually have like the old school striped, like the 70s basketball shoe socks, with the colored stripes on them. And so I look forward to getting those back on the shelf. But if you just can't wait to come and get them, when we get them, I'm gonna place that order as soon as I get offline. Hopefully they'll be on next week's product spotlight here in the stores. But if you can't wait, order them from them directly. And these again, very thick and well-made socks. I speak from experience there. So there you have it on the product spotlight. 4 from the store, 1 from my door, and more socks.
Now, of course, speaking of City Beat and the City Beat vote, how this segment, I don't know if they have internet segment voting, but if they did, I'm convinced, I've never been more convinced of anything in my life, that this segment would win easily. It would crush the competition throughout Cincinnati and the nation and the world and the universe if they have, internet in other places. I don't know if they get this other places. I know we're in Argentina. I know that for sure from today's show.
That's right.
Which, of course, segment I'm talking about, if you don't know, well, where have you been? Because, as I said, it's the greatest thing on the internet. It is the Beachwear segment. I ask Beach, and Beach brings the receipts, as the kids say. We're very hip. We're very hip here.
We're very hip.
As Beach said, when you said earlier that something about the rap game, I'm thinking that's a great tagline. Beach knows a lot about the rap game. That'll bring in the youth demographic to the show.
True. It's true. I do know quite a bit about the rap game.
So I
bring the hemp receipts.
That's right. I asked Beach a very important question, and he tells me all about it. When I ask, what are you wearing, Beach?
Well, it's true. It is true. If you are a Kentucky basketball fan and you want to wear hemp all day, you will find out today on the What Are You Wearing, Beach segment. Now, I kind of had a dilemma here, and I will tell you that, if our illustrious Bengals win the playoff game on Saturday, I will be wearing orange on next week's show. And I was up in the air because I really want to start wearing my orange to show support for my Bengals this week. But my Wildcats play tonight, and so I figured, hey, why don't you show off like your top 5 favorite T-shirts on your 200 or so T-shirt selection. But let's start with the top there. Again, one of my all-time favorite hats as well. This is a head case, 100% hemp Kentucky. Again, this hat is semi-famous in the hemp world because these were worn. This is Craig Lee's, one of Craig Lee's famous hats. They say that he designed it. He pushed them to make this design. This design was very popular in the collegiate sports world. So everybody had a 100% hemp Kentucky hat, or Arkansas, or whatever of their school. But again, I think Woody, there's a picture of Woody Harrelson out there. He's wearing one of these hats as well. So my jacket, my hemp hoodlam, one of my favorite hemp hoodlam jackets to wear during Kentucky basketball season. Underneath, again, the T-shirt I was mentioning, this is a personally made by one of my sales reps. This is a hemp hoodlam T-shirt that he actually got in the store and then had printed. And you can see it says Hemp Tucky. The leaf that's up there is actually the leaf, the semi-famous leaf. It's the one from our trailer, which we altered a little bit, which says fuel, paper, housing, textiles, food, plastic, and oil. And of course, 95, that was the year that Hemptations was opened. The long sleeve underneath is a mystery. It has no tag, and I, for the likes of me, cannot remember where I got it from. It has become one of my favorites because it has really long sleeves and nice cuffs. But I'm not sure where I got it from originally. So I don't know how to even investigate that at this point. We got my favorite jeans, as always, Kentucky Hemp Outfitters, being held up by a Hempy's belt. And as you can see on the outside of my pocket there, as usual, my Green Springs Technology pen, which I carry everywhere with me inside my pocket normally. Hemptopia briefs underneath it all. And then, of course, the Satori Canna-Leaf socks and the Saccone Sneakers. And the Saccones are a part of their vegan line, which I love to mention when I wear them, because again, that's good for the animals that we're not wearing them around on our feet. And that's kind of hard to do, I think, with shoes, especially because they use glues and all kinds of stuff that probably are made out of animals, which I don't want to think about. But anyway, there you have it. If you're a Wildcat fan, now you know. What are you wearing, Beach, for tonight's Wildcat game? All right, we got some good news. Mostly good news, I would say. It is mostly good news. Here's the most interesting news, and people were sending me posts about this week. We used to sell 3G products. I think they were one of the first. I'm going to guess they were one of the first Delta 8. Well, now they are officially sponsoring a NASCAR vehicle. This is the number 8 car, and it's Richard Childress's racing team, and he's an older gentleman at this point, but he used to be a race car driver. And he's had to come out and be like, it's legal. Please don't, blah blah blah. I did joke around with one of my favorite contacts who sent me the picture. Whoopsies! I tried to hack myself. I was doing the podcast right here with video. But he was like, yeah, I wonder, and I forgot to go look to find out what NASCAR's official policy is when it comes to CBD or industrial hemp extracts. Now, I'm sure because Delta 8 is so new that they don't even know what to make of it. But I did see, because I saw on it, somewhat aware of this, that the NFL no longer tests. And again, they only test for, I believe, high traces of THC, and so CBD wouldn't matter. I think baseball stopped testing altogether for it. I think the NBA is pretty lax, but I don't know their official stance on CBD, even though I know a lot of their players are using it one way or another. The Olympic Committee did come out and say that because it was not non-habit forming, but no buzz, basically, that it was okay. And so I feel like I just talked about the NHL's policy, but I don't remember right offhand what it was. I'm guessing that maybe they're hopefully pretty lax. I'll look into some of those other sports teams and whatnot. We know that the horse racing industry doesn't allow it.
Yeah.
It's good with the NFL. It's good with the MLB, but horses, not so much. So anyway, it's gonna open a lot of eyes up. And the other thing about this, which I thought was interesting, and I noticed this last year, or maybe even this year already, is there are it was a fight that the CBD was in the title of the name of the fight. Now there are NASCAR races that are like blah 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 CBD 500, blah 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 CBD 300, and so we're seeing CBD companies sponsor actual races, and so that's pretty big stuff, I have to say. Again, just legitimizing the CBD industry. Okay, they wouldn't be doing it if they didn't believe in the product. If the product wasn't selling and making them money, they're not going to spend millions to endorse races. And so, again, it legitimizes the legitimate CBD industry, which we are 100% a part of. No doubt about that. France has officially legalized CBD. Now, I mentioned on a show a couple weeks ago that the EU, the International Union's official stance was CBD was legal in the European Union. What I didn't know at the time, that this actually came out of this a CBD ruling from France. It started in France. Someone was selling CBD. It went all the way to the EU Supreme Court, whatever they call that. They ruled that it was legal. And again, kind of like here, whereas the United States it's legal, states didn't necessarily have to make it legal, but it helped if they did, so it's kind of what I think we're going to see in Europe is some of these countries don't have an official stance on CBD, and even because the EU said it's okay, they're either going to have to make CBD legal, which is what you had to do here once it was federally legal. If you were a state that didn't want it in the state, then you had to make it illegal. I think we're going to see a lot more states come out and say that, okay, here is the official ruling. And that was all part of them saying that it was okay to put CBD in food and beverages as part of this whole European Union announcement of CBD. But France's official statement is now it is legal. And that's where the whole thing started, was in France. Someone in France was selling CBD and they got in trouble. So interesting stuff there. Here is the Tailor Stitch Camp Pant. I don't know what Duck Boss fabric is. I feel like Duck Boss might be the actual maker, and I'd have to look it up. But again, here's yet another company, Taylor Stitch, that's making what they're calling a camp pant and using hemp. And I think this is, one of the definitely, because if you look at most of the companies, Patagonia, Orvis, the bigger ones that are making hemp pants, they are on the nature loving, hiking, camping aspect of things. And I think that they're going to fall in love with hemp because of its durability. I think they are falling in love with hemp because of its durability. And on the reverse side of that, the eco-friendliness of it. It seems quite ironic that you would sell someone a pair of 100% cotton jeans for them to go hike in nature in and camp out in, when cotton's on the other side of the planet or right down the street destroying the planet. And so it's like, yeah, it's terrible. Again, and so, and I don't know anything about Taylor Stitch, but I'm going to look into them and see what other hemp stuff they may or may not have. But they got a fun name, I suppose. Taylor Stitch. And those are the camp pants. And again, they're Duck Boss fabric, which I will also look into, see what that really means, all in all. Article titled Eco Insolution, 8 Sustainable Options, Hemp. And this is an indoor shot of a house that you can't really see the insulation, but this house was insulated using hemp insulation. And I've talked about it on the show before, and it is going to become more and more popular because of its great insulation properties. And once again, because it's natural and much better to insulate your house and breathe. Again, insulation for a while there wasn't even acceptable for that. And I know that they have made insulation much safer and cleaner for humans, but it's probably still not as safe and clean as hemp insulation, I would gather. So, in an article titled "Best Milk," I forget now the whole thing, the best milk for smoothies. And I guess this was vegan, vegetarian, non-dairy, was the Good Milk Company. And what I love about it is the statement that they made was milk goes in smoothies and hemp seed goes in smoothies. So good milk is just like a no-brainer choice. I think it's interesting. I don't know about, I guess it comes in a jar, but then it also comes in like a pack. I'm not sure how that works. So I might look back into that. I've been trying to try different hemp milks, and I probably need to just go ahead and order like 6 different hemp milks and go ahead and just do what's the best hemp milk out of all the hemp milks. Because we see a lot of, what's the best vegan milk, and then hemp's on there. But there are so many hemp milk makers these days that I think maybe doing a little taste test of my own might be appropriate at this time. And so, but if you're out there in the world and you want to try different hemp milk, try the Good Milk Company. And again, you have to call it like hemp milk like drink. I love that they're spelling it with a Y. Because again, the dairy they're going to get on any big companies that call their non-dairy based milk, guaranteed. They're going to say milk has to come from a cow, which is terrible because once again, adult cows don't even drink cow milk. So why should we? Why do we? It's a lie. It's been a whole lie the whole time. Colorado company. This has happened one time before, and we'll see. Colorado company Trilligen Seeds claims that their Pandora, aka THC null cultivar, cannot make THC. And this is huge. Now, the company that ironically, and I don't even know how this all turned out, the company that burned down in Lexington, right before they burned down, they were claiming to have come up with a THC-free strain, seed they can sell you, put it in the ground, won't grow any THC. That was never proven or heard from again. Now, this company is claiming that once again, they've bred the ability, supposedly, for the plant to make THC out of the plant. And the CBD content is somewhere between 18 and 22%. If this is true, Pandora will be the largest. It will be the largest option for CBD flower in a year, maybe two. Who wouldn't want to touch that? You no longer have to worry about being hot, which is what they call 0.4% THC or higher. And if you come up hot, luckily in most states, it's not a criminal offense, but you have to destroy the industrial hemp. And so guaranteeing 0% THC. Now, you can't be there because it can't be there. And I've been talking about this for the last year or so because cultivar breeding right now in hemp is as big as it could be. Everyone out there, or every other person out there, is trying to breed and come up with newer and better industrial hemp cultivars. And that means reducing that THC content to the benefit of the farmer. And again, this is the holy grail, in my opinion, of industrial hemp seeds, is guaranteeing 0.00% THC. And of course, it's coming out of Colorado, which is basically where the CBD breeding industry started back in the day with Charlotte's Web, more or less. And so, of course, it doesn't surprise me that someone in Colorado is at the height of CBD flower breeding, genetics, so to speak. So, Trilogen Seeds, soon to be the most popular industrial hemp seed on the planet. No doubt about it. Here's the last story that we have, which is kind of interesting because this actually happened to us. So I maybe could have mentioned this in the opening segment because we were just, we had a video taken down by Facebook on one of the pages, and it was a commercial that ran on TV. Mind you, this ran on TV, the commercial that they took down, that they said violated their policies. And so the fact is that, they're still banning hemp-based businesses, hemp-based anything. If you mention CBD, you're done. This particular company, Doozy Pots, they basically had to take any mention of hemp off of their labeling and marketing, which they were heavily marketing this product was. And they made a great point in the article. Now they're competing with every other normal everyday gelato, where they were trying to compete in a smaller, much better marketing idea. Hemp is a highly marketable idea right now. Just putting, and again, the confusion is they still call CBD hemp oil. And so a lot of places, I think, and I think Amazon still probably too, if you say the word hemp, then they immediately think it's CBD. And again, why they think that's not legal, I don't know. I'm almost sure that CBD is legal in all 50 states. I am almost sure of that. Now, I know for a fact that hemp food is legal in all 50 states. There's not one state that's made hemp oil from the seed of the hemp plant illegal. Okay, this is the same hemp milk type product that I was talking. This is a byproduct of being able to make hemp milk out of hemp seed. Is the fact that you can make gelato and hemp like ice cream, and so again, this is a market. We actually sold hemp scream for quite a while, and I wouldn't mind getting it back in. They had 2 or 3 different flavors of again a vegan hemp frozen treat, I want to call it. Here's the most amazing thing that I cannot believe. And when I come across things like this, I am wholeheartedly amazed. This company's in Cincinnati.
Wow.
Like, we have freezers in our stores. I can't believe, and I haven't seen it. And of course, I wouldn't know because they've had to take. Now I'm going to have to go look for it and see who sells it, and I'm going to contact them and see if we can put it in the stores. But I still can't believe that this exists and is made and is based in Cincinnati. And I didn't know about it, which also leads me to believe of how great of a hemp city Cincinnati is coming. And I can only hope that, possibly I had something to do with that Temptations had something to do with that. I don't know if we did or not, until I talked to the owner of the company. They're like, oh, well, yeah. Everybody knew about Temptations. And so anyway, but I think it's great. It's awesome. I'm going to see about trying to get into stores. And if not, I'll find out what stores locally carry it so I can send anybody local, to go buy it and support them. And again, it is unfortunate that they had to change their labeling so that they could market themselves on Facebook, but they can't market themselves on Facebook the way they really want to. They wanted to set themselves aside by offering this great product, hemp foods, again, unbelievable nutritional value, healthier than the alternative, and I don't care what the alternative is. Whether it's making hemp meat to meat-like product, so to speak, or hemp gelato, better for the human body, digestively and nutritionally, than the alternatives. Guaranteed. I'm putting a guarantee on that one. I don't know what I'm guaranteeing. I don't know what I'm going to back that guarantee up with. But you can put a guarantee on a box, on a pile of boxes, and that doesn't mean that. That's a quote from a movie, if you don't know. So anyway, yep, find some doozy gelato, doozy pots. I love it, doozy pots, and I love the fact that they're doozy pots and they're putting pot in there. That's smart. But again, Graders is pot something ice cream. Again, I don't know where it originated from, but it's a special type, but it's described as pot something, pot made or something. So anyway, there is a process of making frozen treats. And I don't know how it all works out. There's different ways to do it, that's for sure. So there you have it. Let's see. There's all the news. There's a couple little events going on. Not too much going on. It's kind of slow right now as far as CBD. I just found out that January is CBD month.
Huh.
I don't know who decided that was the case, but that was the headline on one of the articles that I saw. January is CBD month. So do what you can to turn somebody on to CBD if you think they might need it. That's for sure. January 19th today is actually the Hemp Past and Future. This is at the Cornerstone Building in Franklin, Kentucky. It starts in 40 minutes. So if you're in Kentucky and you're 40 minutes to Franklin, don't leave yet. I'm not done with the show. Franklin, Kentucky, at the Cornerstone Building, they're doing Hemp Past and Future. Tomorrow, if you're in Alabama, they're doing the Alabama Hemp Licensing Orientation Meeting. And this is at the Department of Agriculture in Montgomery. So if you want to be an Alabama hemp farmer, you may want to check that out. If you have an Alabama license and you want to go to the orientation meeting, there it is, Department of Agriculture in Montgomery. The 21st through the 22nd, this weekend, you've got the Midwest Hemp Expo in Lansing Center, Lansing, Michigan. February 1st, the first Tuesday of the month, is the medical marijuana up here in Cincinnati at the Mad Frog Brewing. Starts at 8 p.m. The reason that I announce those is because I try to go when I can, and kind of be the industrial hemp slash CBD guy. February 12th, you have Hemp Today, growing and marketing industrial hemp at the McHenry County College in Crystal Lake, Illinois. So if you're in Illinois, you may want to check that out. And then at the end of February 28th through March 1st, you have the 4th annual Industrial Hemp Summit, and it's going to be a virtual thing, and that's the Institute for Advanced Learning out of Danville. But again, it is virtual online, so no matter what variant of COVID-19 is out there, you can just do that one online if you want. That's pretty much it for today. I didn't have any questions. If anyone wants to ask me a question right now, I will be happy to try to answer it. If I had any beach thoughts, I think my thoughts this week would be on the whole Delta variants, the whole isonomers controversy, all the cannabinoids that are coming out, and all the states or governments that are trying to do something about them because they're for this reason or that reason, and I think that my biggest thought on this is, okay, sure, aside on the air of caution, prove that these are unsafe, prove that Delta 8 is unsafe to the population, prove that Delta 10 is unsafe to the population, prove that HHC is unsafe to the population. Okay, you can't even prove that THC Delta 9, which you've been saying for 85 years, is harmful to the population. There's no scientific proof anywhere that cannabis, Delta 9, Delta 8, whatever it is harmful to humans. Okay, so as that's being said, if you're going to tell us we can't have nature, then prove we can't have nature. Prove we shouldn't have nature. We should always be there. There's zero reason why any human should tell another human they can't enjoy something that's natural. Okay? Maybe it'll kill us, maybe it won't. I should say we should tell people not to do stuff, but we can't make them not do it. And again, if you really want us to not do it, then prove it's harmful. Arsenic is natural in nature, I believe. Okay, it's been proven to be harmful. I'm not going to go ingest arsenic. Either the science is there. It kills people. There's been death certificates, I'm sure, that said arsenic was the cause of death. No different than lead poisoning or any of those things. Yet, I mean, I 100% agree with staying away from anything that's deadly or harmful. That being said, before you decide, because you can say, and you're in a position to say that something's harmful or we take it away, before you decide to put that on a piece of paper, why don't you actually have science figure it out? Okay? And again, they never bring this up anymore because some of the only science that was ever out there that was against cannabis ingestion in any form was they always said it caused brain damage. It caused brain damage. It causes brain damage. We got to make it illegal. We got to keep it illegal. It causes brain damage. Okay? That study that the government used to tell people that cannabis caused brain damage was done on monkeys. Those monkeys were given pure cannabis smoke for up to 5 to 6 minutes with no oxygen in it. Well, yeah. You cut off oxygen to the brain, it causes brain damage. I mean, should we make hands illegal because we can cover up the mouth and nose of someone and make oxygen and they can't get the oxygen? I mean, and so once the studies were what the studies they were using were shown, they stopped. They will no longer tell you that. Here's the other thing that they stopped saying: that cannabis is addictive. You want to know why they stopped saying cannabis was addictive? Because there's not one piece of scientific evidence that it is. Now they call it habit forming. Okay, you can call anything habit forming that you do every day. Okay, drinking Coke. We don't need Coke. Coca-Cola. We don't need soft drinks. Okay, water is really all the human body was meant to process. Okay, you drink Coke every day. Well, then Coke is a habit forming problem. Caffeine is a habit forming problem. Still legal. And I think caffeine is one of the first drugs that we legally give kids. So the government says, yeah, well, it doesn't give you really a buzz you feel. It gives you a little energy. It doesn't give you a buzz you feel, or, and it's, as far as we know, not harmful. Although, guess what? High concentrations of caffeine can kill. Yep. You can ingest enough coffee or caffeine to kill you. There has yet to be any proof scientifically that the amount of cannabis that they believe that could kill you isn't even possible to ingest or process. And once again, guess what, folks? This has been proven. Because there have been some crazy mofos out there that have tried to smoke as much cannabis as they can in a certain amount of time, or ingest as much cannabis as they can in a certain amount of time, and it didn't kill them. I'm not saying it doesn't cause ill side effects, that we have heard of, and I'm not saying it's for everyone, because not everything on the planet is for everyone. But the fact of the matter is anytime the government at this point tries to make something natural illegal, we should fight it with everything that we have and make them prove that it's harmful. Prove scientifically it's harmful, you'll have my voice. Until then, I will continue to say that humans should be allowed to use any cannabis products out there, and especially anything that comes from the industrial hemp plant. There you have it, folks. The beach thoughts today on today's High Noon Hemp Show. I want to thank everybody for watching. As we know, you can, if you're watching now live, that is great, and we love it. If you're watching later, we also love that as well. If you want to contact me with any questions, you can do that at hemptations@yahoo.com. And I will be happy to answer them. You can also get a hold of me through the Hemptations Beach Facebook page, Twitter. We're at Hemptations on Twitter. There's multiple places you can get a hold of me if you need to. Once again, thanks everybody for watching. Remember, reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything else out of hemp. Having Hemptations.
See you all next week for season 14.
14 coming up.